The 500-meter-long red clay road leading to Dosan Sewon is very charming. Most of the Sewon in Korea are located in places with very beautiful natural scenery. The Nakdong River, which meanders in front of Dosan Sewon, spreads out beautifully. The river and wide fields along the road to Sewon open the hearts of many people. The Neo-Confucianism view of nature that ultimately harmonizes with nature by cultivating the mind and body through study is expressed as it is. Sisadan is a place with a memorial stone and a monument house erected to commemorate the special examination, 도산 별과. To commemorate Taegye Ihwang, whom King Jeongjo had always respected, he conducted the 도산 별과 and selected local talents. At one time, there were about 7,000 test takers, and Jeongjo personally selected 11 of them. Dosan Sewon was built by his disciples to commemorate the study and virtues of Taegye Ihwang, a representative Neo-Confucian scholar in Korea. Hundreds of years old willow trees tell the history of Dosan Sewon. Dosan Sewon was the largest Sewon in Korea and the center of Yeongnam academic groups. It was completed in the 7th year of King Seonjo's reign and became Saik Sewon in the 8th year of King Seonjo. 도산 서당, 하고 직사, 농운 정사, and 영락 서재, located in front of Dosan Sewon, belong to the Dosan Sodang area, and the buildings in the back belong to the area of Dosan Sewon, built by Taegye's disciples. Ukjingak on the left is a relic exhibition hall built in 1970. Of course, today's Dosan Sewon refers to the whole, but if strictly classified, it can be divided into Dosan Sodang and Dosan Sewon. On one side of the large yard in front of the Sewon, there is a well called Yeoljeong that was used as a drinking water for Dosan Sodang. When you carefully climb the 12 stone steps and enter the main gate, you can see the Sewon naturally using the sloped terrain at a glance. As soon as you pass through the main gate, you will see a signpost for Dosan Sodang. If you follow the stone path through the plum trees and flowers, you will see a rustic door made of cypress wood. Taegye named this gate Yujeongmun. The building you can see right after entering the door is Dosan Sodang, where Taegye taught his students in his later years. And in the eastern corner of the yard, there is a Jeongwoo-dang planted with lotus flowers. One room to the west of this building is a kitchen with a small room. One ondol room in the center is Wanlakje, where Twege lived, and one room to the east is the floored Amsohon. Both names are taken from the writings of Juhi, and those represent the joy of learning and a humble heart. But if you look closely at the building, it is 4.5 rooms. It has an unusual shape with a half room added to the west kitchen and an extra room to the east floor. This is because the building was inevitably expanded as the number of disciples increased. The building next to 도산서당 is 농은정사, a dormitory where Twege's disciples stayed and studied. Most of the buildings in 도산서당 were designed by Twege himself. He tried to reflect the attitude of the scholar by decorating the buildings simply and frugally like civilian houses. The plane of 농은정사 is composed of the Chinese character 공, which contains Twege's wish for study to be accomplished. The backside of 농은정사 uses a short eaves to compensate for the disadvantage that it does not get much sunlight compared to the front side. If 도산서당 was the place where Twege directly taught his disciples, 도산서원 was built by the disciples behind the 서당 to commemorate Twege. Among the left and right 광명실, where the largest number of books are stored among Korean 서원s, there is 진도문, the main gate. It has the meaning of going towards duty. When you enter this door, there is 전교당 with a large yard. 전교당 is a lecture hall where students were monitored by professors, and it is the main building of the 서원. 박약제 on the left and 홍이제 on the right are places where students usually lived and studied. In 도산서당, the arrangement and form of the buildings are very free, and the building where the students live is located next to the building where the teacher lives. In 도산서원, according to the universal arrangement of Korean 서원, 동제 and 서제 are located on the left and right in front of 강학당. The reason why there is no director's office on the left side in 전교당 seems to be a sign of respect that Twege, who is enshrined in the back shrine, is forever the spiritual director. The signboard of 도산서원 was given by King Seonjo, and the writing was written by 석봉 한호, well known as 한석봉. 박약제 on the left is a dormitory used by senior students, and 홍이제 on the right is a dormitory used by junior students. Behind the right side of 전교당 is 삼문, the gate to the shrine. The middle door is not used by people because it is a door for spirits, and it is usually accessed through the right door. The shrine inside this door is called 상덕사, and the ancestral tablet of Twege Ihwang is enshrined. Twege Ihwang is one of the 6 saints of Joseon, and it is the most well-known Confucian scholar in Korea. In the book written by the modern Chinese philosopher Jin Lai, there is a chapter on Ihwang as a later Neo-Confucian scholar, along with the major Neo-Confucian scholars of the Song dynasty in China. He even adorns the cover of the Korean 1001 bill. Gojiksa was where the people who worked in the Sewon lived. Next to Dosan Sedang is Hago Jiksa, and next to Dosan Sewon is Sango Jiksa. It's just like any other living room. The students had a meal here and kept the food needed for the Confucian Academy. Considering that it is quite large, you can guess the size of the living in Dosan Sewon. Forsaking oneself and failing to follow others is a great disease of a learner. There is no end to the right principles of the world. How can you say that only you are right and others are wrong? These are the words of Twege Ihwang, where you can feel the personality of him.